Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at an all-in-one USB-C hub, first for the channel. It's from a brand called Minisopuru. The brand name's on the screen if you want to check it out. They specialise in computer accessories, docking station, particularly for Macs. Now they've sent me their iMac all-in-one USB-C hub, which looks excellent. I'll put some unboxing footage in the video. It feels really good quality, and we'll get into the review straight away. So first of all, I'd like to send a big thank you out to the company for sending me this review unit to review. That's really helpful. It enables me to get more content on the channel and show my audience products that would really help them in the everyday real world. So thank you very much. So now let's get into this. So the iMac, which I've got, I unboxed and I've got on the channel currently, has 4 USB-C ports on the back of it, or 2 if you've got the cheaper model at $1299. They're located around the back of the device, and it can be quite annoying to access them. So I've been looking at getting a hub for a while. One of my big bugbears of the iMac design also is the fact that you don't get an SD card reader built into the iMac anymore. So back in the Intel era, you used to get an SD card reader on the back. That's when it has a thicker design. And that was really useful for transferring photographs, especially if you're a content creator, videographer, anything like that. It was so easy, and photographer, so much easier to transfer footage across onto the iMac. So that's one of my big bugbears, is there's not an SD card reader. So as I mentioned, I've been looking for a hub. I wanted one that wouldn't sort of take over the design of the Mac, that it would sort of wouldn't had one that hung off the back of the Mac from my old laptop, and it just looked a mess. So I was looking for something that would sit flush to the base of the Mac, and it would sit on it and just look really neat. I wouldn't even notice it. So Minisopuru kindly reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing their hub. I looked at it and thought, yes, it's exactly what I've been looking for my iMac. I would really like to review that product. So I got back to them and said, yes, please send it to me, and I'll get it on the channel. So the model they've sent me is compatible with the iMac down to the M1 generation. The iMac stands on the hub itself. They do a dock for the older iMac Intel era, which hooks onto the stand itself, a little hook that looks really cool as well. So if you're not sure if you've got the older iMac, you still get a hub from them. They've got loads of options on their website, which is in the link down below, so check it out because they've got some really cool products down there. But this particular hub here is only compatible with the iMac down to the M1 generation. I just want to make that clear so people don't buy the wrong one. So not only does this hub have a great design, which we'll get into later on in the review, but it also has the ability to add in an SSD hard drive, which is something that I've not seen on a hub before. So what does this mean? Like in the real world, what does this mean? So this is what this channel's about. It's about telling people what that means in the real world. So an SSD drive is a hard drive built into the computer. We'll get into it later on in the specifications, but essentially you can add one into the bottom of the hub and increase your Mac storage. I'll go over that later on in the review. The price-wise, the hub sells for maximum price of £99, $99 US. It's available on Amazon and shipping from Amazon, free shipping straight from the UK, so it gets here really quickly. They are a US brand. They have a website as well. You can buy direct off the website. You get free shipping over a certain amount, so it's very generous. They've currently got a Black Friday offer on at the moment where you can get £20, I think, off. So it's down to £79, which is a great value product in my mind for this. So £79 for a hub with this kind of specification is good value in my mind. So even paying the full price is fine. So I would look at this hub as an option if you're looking for something for your iMac. So now we've done the introduction, let's get into this design and the color of the hub. So the hub is beautifully constructed. It feels very sturdy, which is the first thing I noticed during the unboxing, and I'll go to some footage now of the unboxing. It's made of aluminium, not plastic, which gives it a really premium feel. It adds to the design, and it also matches the iMac's aluminium aesthetics. That's one thing I really liked about this, is it builds into the iMac. You can't even notice it's there, it just looks fantastic. The hub is also perfectly color matched to the iMac, and you can choose from a multiple of colors when ordering. They currently have 4 colors on Amazon, if you check it out, and they're available for immediate delivery. They are working on getting as many colors out for the iMac as possible, because obviously they just introduced new colors with the new model, so they're having to catch up a bit with the iMac, but they are introducing these colors out into the market at the moment. So please bear with them. They will get, if your color's not on there, please bear with them. There will be one available soon. And also, I've just mentioned they are on Black Friday offer now, so if your color's on there, get it now, because this is the best price to get it for at the moment. So if you go to the company's website, have a look, and the Amazon link down below. So I was worried that standing the iMac on top of a hub would give you something that felt, like the hub wouldn't take the weight, but there was no problems with this at all. Due to the aluminium construction, it feels great. It takes the weight of the iMac perfectly. There's no bend in it. It's just really good quality. So that's one thing that really appealed to me when I put the iMac on top of the hub. I noticed it straight away. They gave me that quality feel until the iMac didn't flex at all. So how it works is it has one single USB-C cable coming off the back of the hub, and this plugs straight into your USB-C port on the back of the iMac. So one cable, and it's a really nice touch what they've done with this. They've actually color matched the USB-C plug to the color of the iMac, so you can't even notice it when you're plugging it in, and that looks fantastic. So it just adds a bit more to the premium feel to the design of the product. So now what I want to go over is the specifications and features of the hub, and try and explain to you in not too technical way what they mean, because I know it can be a complete minefield when choosing a hub. There are so many out there. They all have these numbers on them, like USB-C 3, 4, 5. It can be a complete minefield if you're new to technology and you're not sure which hub to go for. So I'm going to try and simplify this for you as much as possible, and try and explain the speeds available on this hub and what it can do for you. So first of all, let's look at the ports that are on offer on the hub. So when you stand the iMac on the hub, the ports are all accessible from the side of the Mac, and there's a nice little light on the side of the SD card reader, which is a really nice premium feel to the hub. And then you can access all these from the side, which I think is really useful, because most people will probably stand the iMac straight on or in a corner, so then you've got it accessible to, rather than having to go around the back, and you don't want it from the front because it's too cluttered. Then you've got to put everything in the front. It's also going to stack to put the front. So I think the side is the perfect place, because you can then pop your accessories to the side of the Mac. So I think that's really good design. So what this hub has is a maximum transfer speed of 10 gigabits per second. So that's USB 3.2. So it isn't the fastest speed available. You can get faster hubs if you need faster speeds. I think what they've done is they've gone for the mid-market sort of level. So I think 10 gigabits will be more than fast enough for most people, and anyone looking for an aesthetically pleasing hub with a decent performance, this is kind of it. So if you need faster than that, then fine, go look at other hubs, but this one is limited to 10 gigabits per second. It's just what I want to make you aware of that. So during my testing, I had no problems with this. It felt fast enough for me as a content creator by transferring footage from my camera's SD card to the Mac, and also from my phone, anything like that. Anything I plugged into it, into the faster ports, it felt fine. I didn't have any problems with it at all. So that's just my testing and my opinion. I'm completely independent on this. I'm not, the company has sent me the product, but I'm really independent, and it is a decently fast hub in my opinion. So it is limited to 10 gigabits, but that is pretty quick and it's fine for my needs. So I don't want to get too bogged down in technical details of transfer speeds, because this channel is not about that. It's more about looking at the connectivity on offer and what it can offer you in the real world use. So you do get, what you get on the back, on the side of the product, is 2 USB-A Type 2 ports. So these are the older USB-A ports. These have a transfer speed of 480 megabits per second, so half a gigabit per second essentially. So why do we have these older ports on there? So these older ports are still very widely in use at the moment. I've got a mouse over here. So as you see here, this is a Logitech mouse. So a lot of manufacturers are sticking to the old USB standard. So this is a receiver here, and it plugs straight in nicely into the port, and it doesn't matter what about the speed because it's just a mouse. So those ports are great plugging in accessories like keyboards and mice or anything like that doesn't require speed. It gives you that option with doing it without having to find a USB-C adapter, because that's what you need to find if you're going to just plug it straight into the Mac without Bluetooth. So that's really convenient for me. So next up, we've got two USB 3.2 10 gigabits per second ports. So these are the faster high-speed ports. So these are the ports you would be using for data transfer to your Mac. So you've got one USB-A type port, which is what we've just touched on a minute ago. So it's the standard, I'll get it out again, sorry, I just put it away, I shouldn't have done. So it's that kind of connection, it's the older standard USB connection. And we've also got a high-speed USB-C connection, so the new standard USB-C, which is on the back of the Mac itself. So the USB-C port on this hub is not as fast as the top speed on the Mac hub, but it will still give you 10 gigabits per second, so it's a pretty fast speed, and you can transfer files on it easily, plug in an external hard drive. You know, it runs really well. Finally, on the side, we have the SD card reader, and also, which I'm going to celebrate now, yes, because I've wanted an SD card reader on Mac for so long, and it gives me the ability to plug in that SD card straight from the camera without having to get the cable out, connect it to the cameras, to the computer. It's just a lot easier, a lot less faff. And next to that is a mini SD card TF card reader. So that's really good because if you've got a phone or a tablet with a mini SD card in it, or like a camera, we've got cameras outside that have mini SD, you can plug them straight into your computer, and then you've got the ability to download those files straight onto your Mac. As I've touched on during the introduction, this hub also has a few tricks up its sleeve. You can increase your Mac storage by installing an external SSD. So this is something I've not seen on a hub before, and it fascinated me when I saw it on the specification. I was really excited to get a hold of it and find out what it meant for me, because I'd not seen it. I'd always used external drives like this that plug in by USB-C, which look a bit of a mess. So essentially, what does it mean for real world use? So as we all know, Apple charges a lot of money for their hard drive upgrades. So the Mac I chose was 1699 model with 512 gigabytes of storage. So that's half a terabyte of storage. I can probably fill that with video in about 5 minutes. So I needed more storage. So I purchased a 4 terabyte Crucial drive, which has been really good. It did let me down once, I had to reformat it. Well, that's another story for another video. So Apple will charge you, I looked at putting this up to about 2 terabytes when I ordered it, and Apple will charge you £600 extra, also known as the Apple tax, to install an SSD with 2 terabytes in the iMac. So this isn't something that I wanted to pay for, so I thought, I'm not doing that, I'm going to buy an external SSD. And it's worked fine. It just looks a bit of a mess. What this hub enables me to do is to go onto any website, such as Amazon, any store that sells basically an SSD. So it's like a circuit board with a few memory modules stuck to it, and they have a standard connection, and you can take the bottom of the hub off. What I will do is I'll put a video of this, of how to do it. The company has one, I think, on their website as well, but I've done it already, so I will put a video on my channel to show you how to do this, because I think it's a really useful feature, and I want people not to be frightened to have a go at doing it, because it's not actually that hard and it's really easy to do. So please have a go at trying it out. It's such a useful feature. So what you basically do is, I bought one off Amazon. You can get a 2 terabyte one for about £100. I got a 512 gigabyte one just to try it out. I think it was £18. It was a really good price. And you just open the bottom of the hub with the screw. They even give you a screwdriver in the box, which is really kind of them. It's all and an adhesive pad to stick it on with. So you've got everything included you need in that box apart from the drive. So the drive is separate. So 20 quid drive, £100 drive, whatever your needs are, depending on how much storage you need. They also include really detailed instructions, which is really useful. And then you simply open the bottom of the box, stick the drive into the slot, pop it down, and then screw it back together, plug it into your Mac, and then you've got full SSD hard drive on there next to your on the Mac. So just as a word of warning, if you do try this out, so when I first installed this disk, the Mac didn't recognize it. So this is quite a common thing for installing a new hard drive. Because my background is, years ago, I used to custom make PCs for people, and I was used to installing components, and this was back in the day before the computers became unupgradable themselves. So the Mac is now completely unupgradable. You can't do that. But back in the day of Windows PCs, gaming PCs, I used to build them. So I know about the memory modules and how they work and stuff like that. So this is great to be able to expand it, and it's really easy to be able to use. But one thing that I noticed on the straight away was the computer wouldn't recognize it. So what I had to do was go into the file system on the Mac, which is under Disk Utility. I'll show you how to do this on the video when you install the hub. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. And in conclusion, I once again want to thank you, the company Minisopuru, for sending me this hub and been able to do this review on the channel, otherwise it wouldn't have happened. I think it's unique on the market in the way it works. It integrates well into your Mac. The quality of the design and build is really good. Before I got sent this, I was using, as I mentioned, the basic hub with a wire hanging off the back of it, and it just looked a complete mess. And now this has really simplified my setup. It enables me to help my workflow, keep my content creation business going, basically. So this hub is really helping me in my daily workflow. The color matching is spot on. The one cable single design with the color match thing is a nice touch, and this simplifies the setup. Highly recommend you check out this hub. So thanks for watching. Thank you again to the company, and next time we'll be looking at a Oppo X8 Pro, I think, so I've got that in for testing at the moment, which is really exciting. So thanks very much for watching, and please subscribe to the channel.